Shout out to LTTV. Shout out to LTTV.
Your man, the one you chose, the one you love, the one you're dedicated to, the one you're committed to, the one you're building a family with, he's got some say, because you certainly do. There is no woman alive who can convince me she's never complained about her man.
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, let's get right into this one. Today we're talking about high value men and boss bitches and how they're the exact same person. And we're going to outline it through reacting to some of this content that Stephen A. Smith is presenting on the Stephen A. Smith show. He's speaking about the Keke Palmer situation and Keke Palmer's boyfriend speaking out, getting cooked by the audience. Now, he says some things in this video that I agree with, some things that I don't agree with. And through this video, we will make some outlines of why high-value men and boss bitches are the same insufferable people. Shout out to Mike with the $5 super chat, or it says super sticker. Shout out to you.
I'm getting rich.
As you can see who's in the thumbnail, we have, who do we got in the thumbnail? We got Bambi from Love and Hip Hop, and Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels is, of course, representing the high-value man in this situation, and Bambi representing the boss bitch, the insufferable, toxic boss bitch. All right, so pretty much the parallels that we're seeing. You know what? Let's get into this reaction. I'll draw the parallels in a second. Let's get this interesting.
We all know where I'm starting off today's show. We all know where I'm starting off today's show. Because it's necessary, okay? This whole Keke Palmer thing that's been going on, everybody's been going off about it and what have you, because Keke Palmer, who, by the way, is an absolute star and a stud, and usually that is reserved for men, but in this particular case, I'm going to say her, because she's just ultra talented. She really, really is. I mean, I'm just looking at some of her resume. Outstanding actress in a short-form comedy or drama series, Primetime Emmy Award 2022. Keke's Turned Up with the Taylors, 5 NAACP Image Awards, nominations for a Daytime Emmy Award, and a Screen Actors Guild Award. Time Magazine included her on a list of most influential people in the world in 2019. She's been around a long time. She's 29 years of age. She's an absolutely, positively spectacular talent, okay? She is somebody that's been around. She was on ABC last year. We don't care.
Let me tell you something. We don't care.
Okay, I don't know why they got this recording in my ear. Get it out my ear, please. Thank you very much. The point is that she's been around for a while. She's been doing a great job. I think she's a lovely person. She's an absolutely wonderful, lovely talent. I am not here to judge her in any way. She shows up to the Usher concert, all right, in Las Vegas a few days ago, 4 months after giving birth to her son, Leo. Congratulations.
Full groupie mode at the Usher concert. Don't leave that out, but let's get it.
On that. And she ruffled a few feathers. And she ruffled a few feathers because of the outfit that she showed up in, okay? And I shouldn't say a few feathers. She, as far as I'm concerned, she ruffled the only feather that should matter. The only feather that should matter, and that is of her man, the father of her child, whose name happens to be a Mr. Darius Jackson. Here's what I have to say to Keke Palmer. None of my damn business. It's between you and your man. And for everybody out there, in terms of the personal, intimate relationship that she has with her man, mind your damn business. Everybody want to be in somebody else's bedroom. What about your bedroom? All due respect, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear that.
And this is where the disagreements start. All right, Stephen A. Stephen A. Smith is probably the greatest speaker. Not the probably. He was on the GOAT list of my GOAT list on Blunt Talk with LT. He's the greatest speaker in sports television today and the sports debate shows. But what Stephen A. Smith always likes to do is he will put a disclaimer up on the screen, and then he will preface all his comments by giving the laudables and the good comments to the person that he's about to criticize. This is the entertainment, gossip, cultural commentary, social commentary world. We all speak on these things chest out, and we're not reluctant to do so. So him saying people got to keep their mouth out of their business, sir, you're talking about their business too. We're all talking about their business. You're trying to do it a little more clean, but we all do the same thing. So that's the first disagreement, but let's get into this.
How's your bedroom doing?
And they're public figures. You're putting your business out there. He tweeted it publicly. He didn't keep that in the house. We can talk about it. It is what it is. Once again, let's use Stephen A. against Stephen A.
We're in a different era. Get over it. Whoa! Mind your damn business, okay? Stop getting in between this stuff. It's none of our business, all right? I understand she was in a public setting, and you can have whatever comments that you can have about her. I fault her man for one thing and one thing only.
And he's faulting her man for the same thing that I'm faulting her man for. When this is your relationship, keep it in the household. It's none of the public's business. Airing out that tweet talking about your displeasure for her outfit and her going out there doing with Usher, you should have kept that in the house. Were you not man enough to be able to address her and talk about what the fuck you wearing? But this is what I'm talking about. But people want to fight back when I say he was not wearing the pants. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about high-value women or high-value men and the boss bitches. All the women shouted to this guy, shut the fuck up. You're a house husband. You don't got no say. She runs shit. Boss bitch mentality. We're going to get into that shortly.
What she had on this outfit, all right, there's no other way to say this. Literally, not figuratively, literally she showed her ass. No other way to say it. I mean, it's literally true. It's literally true. That's exactly what she showed. With the outfit, it was exposed.
Just like a woman.
Figuratively, literally she showed her ass. No other way to say it. I mean, it's literally true. It's literally true. That's exactly what she showed. With the outfit, it was exposed for the world to see. And before I go any further, my man Jay, could you put that video up, please, in case anybody thinks I'm lying about it? I'm literally not exaggerating. Play that for us, please.
Okay, so above Ruby's TV says, but LT, now that Keke has been exposed, who's Brokius Jackson? That ain't his name, man. All right, for being in agreement with her outfit before she left the house, what else is there to say? When did she do that? When did Keke expose that he was okay with her outfit in the house? When did that happen?
How did this happen? Who was the idiot that did this?
When did that happen? Are we just saying things, y'all? Are we just saying things? Let me check the shade room real quick while we play this.
That is Keke Palmer, who is a phenomenal.
Are we just saying things? He literally smacked her on the butt when she was leaving. Where y'all getting this from? Just 2 days ago, she made a video saying that he kissed her and slapped her on the derriere the same night. Is this true? Could someone find me a link? Even if that's the case, that does not go against the argument that I made. And this proves my point even more so. Because if he kissed her and slapped her on the ass before she went, the point that I made is that this nigga was not man enough to really to say his real gripes. Because he's the boyfriend, he's the man. When he got the pushback, that's when he really spoke up. Hold on, y'all. I got to get all the messages to keep everything in order. Let's play this real quick, but I'm going to keep everything in order. Shout out to Mike with the $2 super chat. Hold on, y'all. Laugh my fucking ass off. She was doing too much. Yeah, she was doing entirely too much. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat, though.
I'm getting rich.
Making stuff up to excuse her behavior. Sad. Nah, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. None of that matters. They can make all the excuses. It does not matter. Because when we keep this in context, none of that shit matters. All right, so let me pull up everything he said in his complaints. This is an old show now, so I have to go back to old files. Hold on. This is what he said after, when he actually got the gumption to actually speak out. He said, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and the mother of his kids to showcase booty cheeks and to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family, my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." So that's what he said, all right? So that's what he said. So if what y'all are saying is true, that's what he said after his first initial statement. His first initial statement was, that outfit though, you a mom. He was not man enough and bold enough to say it with his goddamn chest. Yo, this is my woman. Why the hell you dressing like this, doing all the most with Usher? Because it was not just about how she was dressed. It was about her activity with Usher. And he did not want to say that because he did not want to cook his woman publicly. You shouldn't say that, but you would say that when she gets back in the house. He should have. The problem is, if he had a problem with her outfit before she left, he should have addressed her in the house. And if she was not willing to listen, it shows who wears the pants in the relationship. And it goes back to that boss bitch mentality. I make the money. I'm the breadwinner. I do what the fuck I want to do. I'm not respecting your masculinity. I'm not respecting your place as the leader in the household. We see this all the time. Nicki Minaj does what the fuck she wants, and her husband has to sit there and take it like a bitch. It is what it is. Pause. In the manosphere, in the red pill space, they always campaign for the high value man and the woman to just know her place and just do what she wants, just do what he says to do in a benevolent dictatorship, as Anton Daniels likes to say. And the woman gets treated more as an object because the man waves his money around and she's submissive to his money. That is the high value man archetype that is perpetually promoted in these streets. A lot of these high value men are insufferable characters. They have shortcomings with integrity. They're not quote unquote real dudes, but they got the bread. And they try to leverage the money as power in relationships. And you see it with the same boss bitches, the same personality, they get often described as narcissistic personalities, insufferable. Let's get back into this.
Actress. She could sing her tail off. She's just a star. Okay? And I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of hers. Always have been and always will be. That ain't changing. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, let me say this. If I were her man, ain't no way in hell I would approve of that. I would not have liked that one bit. That's for me. That ain't for the public.
Artichoke Hearts with the $5 super chat. Her man previously posted a video of him slapping her butt while she was dancing while wearing a catsuit and leggings. He is a hypocrite. Yeah, I showed that same video in the my initial reaction to their to this entire drama. I showed all of that in that video. But shout out to you for the $5 super chat. This is the thing. It's not about her outfit. He didn't want to say chest out. It was about her behavior. He didn't want to take that step to embarrass himself and her. But nonetheless, you should have kept that shit in-house. He took the L. This is what happened. I keep saying this, but nobody wants to actually address the issue because women hate this talking point. This is exactly what happens when a woman is leading the relationship. She does what she wants to do, and you just have to accept it. And then she'll have a crowd of women online shouting a bitch nigga like him down when he complains to the internet because he ain't supposed to complain. Men on these airways, in the manosphere space, the manosphere adjacent space, always want to whine and bitch about things and bring it to the internet and be like, why aren't our complaints being addressed? And it's like, you're men. You're not supposed to do this. Women could complain till the cows come home. That's what they're going to do. Even when things are great, they might complain. So it's like you're going to hear that on the internet all day, every day. Men are just campaigning to be like women. Oh, they're complaining, we got to complain too. Instead of sharing notes and figuring out solutions, pointing out red flags in individuals and telling y'all you're fucking up if you're moving forward with these type of women, that's the way to do it. But folks just want to complain all day.
That's for me. Ain't nobody else in public getting that. That's for me. That's just me. Okay? So her man feeling the way that he felt, I understand.
This is the thing, Stephen A. Every man understands. All right, so a lady 747 says, these type of women, you mean equal? What in the hell are you talking about, folk? What are you talking about? Equal? What are we talking about equal? We're talking about respect for a relationship. The commonality in the high value man and the boss bitch is that there is no equality in the relationship. The money leverages them situations where they can do what the fuck they want to do and disrespect the relationship in ways that they want to disrespect the relationship, and you just got to deal with it because they bring all the value to the relationship in their minds. That is the main point and the main outline of this entire stream. Leverage in relationships through money. Men and women do it the same. The high value man does it. Open on my end, closed on your end. I can just replace you with another hot 22-year-old, even though I'm 56. It's like that's that high value man mentality. Boss bitch mentality. They think they're never going to age. They're still trying to be the star at 48 years old. They're a housewife trying to compete with 24-year-old women. And when I say housewife, I mean like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, not actual housewives. Housewife?
No, you ain't.
I don't even know why it's labeled that. I don't even know why that's the title. No one forces people to be in these relationships. You see that? Nobody forces people. Of course, nobody forces them to be in the relationship, but this is what happens in these type of relationships. And we point out the red flags, but people don't want to concede to red flags. They just want to, give them more grace, give them more grace. We call out red flags. People are like, oh no, the woman's just she's just a goofy woman. She's just X, Y, and Z. Well, the women will make all sorts of excuses. And that's why men are fools to listen to women in the crowd. Fools. You're accountable for your own life. Your decision in your wife is probably the most decision you'll make in your life. So listening to the outsiders chirp and make excuses for women to be unaccountable, nah. But don't judge the field. We don't care about the field. I'm not trying to hold the field accountable. I'm not trying to lead the field of women. That's what the mistake of a lot of these guys in the red pill space do. You can't lead a woman that's not yours. What are you doing?
As he said, it's the outfit, though. You a mom. That's what he said. And then when he was taking heat because trolls everywhere was...
Prime VA, that's true. So women can't complain about abuse when no one is forcing them to stay. That is the excuse right there. What they said, oh, nobody's forcing them to stay. That is the most unaccountable, dusty, abusive thing when people say, oh, nobody's forcing you to be in this relationship. Someone addresses an issue. Instead of that person improving, it's like, oh, you don't got to be here. You could leave. That's boss bitch mentality. That's high value man. That's the high value man mentality. Oh, I run shit. Get on my game plan. You have zero say. Benevolent dictatorship. Although we're going to leave out the benevolent part. Abuse is illegal. Of course it's illegal. But abuse nowadays is arbitrary. You seen that guy? What's that guy's name? That white celebrity. He put a little bit of boundaries on a hoe. He put some boundaries on a hoe, and she said, oh, abuse. Let me rewrite history, and this is abusive now. We're going to get into that in a second. Let's get into this reaction. I have a lot to say tonight.
He said, we live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother of his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is a message especially to the ladies out there, that man is entitled to his feelings. Now, I disagree with...
Now, he's entitled to his feelings as long as he keeps it in his house and communicates that message to his woman. Now, when he brings that shit online to have men battle his relationship or battle these points for him and lead his relationship for him.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Crying to me, and I'm not having that.
Now, Stephen A. said that he only faulted him for bringing it to the internet. So, as you fault him for bringing it to the internet, going through the minutia of these points to try to justify the things he says is pointless. And that's what I pointed out in the last breakdown of this. It's like, we can't justify that. You're not leading your relationship, so you come crying to the public. This is what the women do.
With him saying it publicly. He had no business doing that. Darius Jackson's none of our business. You shouldn't.
Jonah Hill. That's who I was looking for. Jonah Hill is the person. That's the nigga I'm talking about. Well, not the nigga. That's the white guy I was talking about, who's getting thrown under the bus now because his ex was saying that he was abusive because he put boundaries on her. She violated the relationship many times. This is what happens to folks. Folks will be with a woman that has all the red flags in the world. She's violated the relationship like this girl, like Keke violated this guy. So what the guy does now is, I'm going to put boundary after boundary after boundary that seems strenuous for the girl to follow, and she starts feeling like, oh my God, this is so much pressure. This is control. This is abuse all of a sudden. It's like, no, you did not know how to act in a relationship, so he put out clear guidelines so you can respect the relationship, and all of a sudden you realize that you're too much of a hoe to respect the relationship, so now it's abuse. And more times...
Ain't nobody got time for that. Crying to me, and I'm not having that.
Said that to her for us to see. You should have waited till she got home and addressed it with her privately. Okay? That's what you should have done. And for those that are sitting up there looking at it, I got something for you later that I'll expose to you. But for the moment, at this particular moment in time, that's the only problem I had with him. Outside of that, forget Keke and Darius Jackson. That's their personal life. That's their personal business. I'm doing a podcast today because I wanted to look at y'all. It's specifically couples, but especially the ladies. Not just the ladies, men too, but especially the ladies. I mean, can we say anything? Can we say anything? I'm reading comments. He had no right to say what he said. Yes, the hell he does. Yes, he does. That's his woman. A man does not have a right to say that to Keke Palmer. her man does, the man she loves, the man she chose, the man she professed her love to publicly and privately, the man she just had a child with.
He's absolutely right, as long as it's communicated in the house. Because once she is not listening to your request to respect the relationship in-house, you already know where she belongs.
She belongs to the streets.
That's her man. If he can't say anything to her, what can he say? That's the world we living in now. We living in a world where that's your woman. She has publicly stated, that's my man. They have a beautiful 4-year-old son. That's our son. He can't say anything to the mother of his child. Now, again, not publicly. Not publicly. But privately, he can't say anything. I got a better question for you. When y'all gonna stop lying? When y'all gonna stop lying? You trying to tell me, as women, you don't complain to your man? That's what we supposed to believe now? You trying to tell me, as women, you don't complain to your man? That's what we supposed to believe now?
Stephen A. Smith did. This is a cardinal fuck up. This is a cardinal sin right here. Bro, what are you doing, Stephen A.? What are you doing? Women are going to complain. They're going to be disingenuous on the internet. They are going to cape for women. They're going to do the women to sisterhood shit. They're going to do that all day, every day. Men, once we do that, this is where the red pill in the manosphere space forgets. We're not the same. We are not the same. Double standards. There's double standards that work in our favor. There's double standards that don't. We get online and start complaining.
Oh, shut up, nigga.
Nobody's trying to hear that. They're calling you a bitch because you're reflecting female tendencies by complaining instead of handling your business and finding solutions. That ain't for us. We ain't supposed to be out here complaining like that. So when they talk about they're doing it, of course they're doing it and we can't do it. We're not the same.
That's what we supposed to believe. That your man could go out in public with his ass showing and you cool with that. Or something else showing and you cool with that. Hell, let's say he's fully clothed and you want to go out to dinner and he dressed in a clown suit. You ain't gonna say anything? Oh, he can dress the way he wants to dress.
Yo, we hear baby mothers, girlfriends, and wives of entertainers in the industry complaining all day, every day. And what the hell do we say?
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care. Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
Some of these good guys that actually care and entertain the complaints of women that aren't theirs, they complain all day, every day. Why do we care?
He can do what he wants to do. He can say what he wants to say. Who am I? What woman does that? Who is she? I've never met her. I've never met her. Ever. I was raised by 5 women. I have 4 older sisters and a mama. God rest her wonderful soul. She passed away in 2017. I miss her every minute of every day. I have never seen a woman in my life. I have had female bosses. I have female colleagues. I have female friends. Obviously lovers, because I must confess I have fornicated in my lifetime. Yeah, it's true. I'm sorry to break it to you. I had.
Hold on, you're right, Faded Blaze. These likes are dusty as shit.
Whoa!
Y'all get the likes up, y'all? Not even half of the likes is the viewing. Let's put a pause in the show real quick and let's get these likes up. Let's go for a commercial break, y'all. This smooth though? How about this, y'all? How about I loop that about this smooth? Y'all enjoying this shit too much. Now let's get back into it.
Okay? I've known women all my life. Years ago, I had 90 living relatives left. 80 were women. I have been surrounded with women all my life.
Jesus Christ.
All right, shout out to Mike with the $2 super chat. Hit that like button. Yeah, hit that like button, y'all. Shout out to you for the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
I have never, ever heard a woman never complain. Nor have I heard a man who never complained. Humans have preferences. That's the society that we're living in now.
Humans have preferences. It's not women that are the only human beings with emotions and complaints, but men, we have to keep our complaints to a minimal, especially publicly. It's just life.
That man can't have a problem. Again, he shouldn't have said anything publicly. Not a word. That's his private business between him and Keke. It's not for us to judge. Keke, you look fabulous. Just having a baby 4 months ago, you look spectacular. You go on, girl. Ain't nobody hating on you this way. Special, sweetheart.
Nah, I'm kind of hating. I said she was mid. I said she was average.
Congratulations on motherhood, your illustrious career that's going to continue to grow and grow and grow because you're a phenomenal talent. I'm not throwing any shade on you. But your man has a right to if he wants to. Privately. If he said...
Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. Okay, so the point that he was making to us, because women were basically telling him to shut the fuck up, stay at home, you're a stay-at-home dad, blah, blah, blah. But they were saying he doesn't even have a say in the house. They were on that boss bitch shit where it's like, he doesn't even have a say in the house. Shut your bitch ass up type shit. That's what women were on. So when he's debating that point, I'm in agreement with that. Because they were trying to say he doesn't even have a say in his own house. And that's what happens when you are just the other guy to a boss bitch. They're treating you like you have no say. You're the woman in the relationship. You're the woman in the high value man's relationship. The high value man's woman has no say. She's in a benevolent dictatorship. She just follows lead blindly. It's the same shit. So these dudes get treated like housewives. And then they come crying to the internet and we're supposed to pick up their fights.
We don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Choose a different chick, lead in your relationship, or stay steady crying to us.
Got up there and showed up in a clown suit and did something that you deemed inappropriate, meaning Keke or any other woman out there. You ain't
Yo, I hate y'all in the chat. Y'all in the chat just hate black men. What is this, black men tears? And y'all are just like...
crying to me, and I'm not having that.
Don't say anything, huh? He can just do what he wants to do. That's what we're trying to project in our society today with your lying selves. You know that's not true. We say stuff all the time.
Man, this is the thing about women. She looked fab and so did her buns. Don't hate. Her buns, come on, man. They're barely there. Barely there. Struggle cheeks. All right, first of all, talking about she looked great. This is the problem. This is why I showed y'all the picture of her transformed down, not in her Super Saiyan form. These girls will look great for that night, dressed up to the brim, makeup fully decked out, no blemishes, finessing. Y'all don't know how well women could do their makeup to look like a completely different person. All these women were kind of just like trying to emulate the same chick. And then they can do their makeup creative ways. I don't know if I showed y'all that video with the Asian chick who looked like various different folks by doing her makeup. She was a very average looking woman, no disrespect to her. But with the makeup skills, she looked incredible. So it's like, y'all be playing with this, oh, she looked great. We know what you actually look like, though. Every woman wants this fucking participation trophy to be 10. To be a 10. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. There ain't nothing wrong with looking like an average woman.
got a problem with the world sitting up there standing up acting like this man can't complain. That's his woman. He doesn't own her. He doesn't hold on. I had this woman, Janice Armstrong, formerly of the Philadelphia Daily News. I saw her text, or I'm sorry, some comment she made on social media. Janice was a wonderful, Miss Armstrong was a wonderful, wonderful reporter. She's a wonderful person. I'm throwing no shade on her. She was always sweet.
See, this is the thing. When we speak in we always speak in generalities. Someone just mentioned Ashanti. Ashanti's aging well. They say they're older and they look better. Like, Ashanti is like, Ashanti's the opposite of Pearl. Like, you can't, generally certain women, you can say younger women look better, but there's some girls that age well and there's some other women that age in dog years. Happens to men too. It's just life. But when we speak in generalities, it kind of just mucks it up. But when we make specific references to folks, it really illuminates that there is vast differences amongst the generalities. But let's get into this, y'all.
To me, and I've always adored her. I haven't seen her in many years. God bless you. I hope you're well. But I read your comment. A man doesn't have a right to tell a woman anything? Well, damn. What kind of relationship is that? What are we going to say next, y'all? She wants to go outside, or you want to go outside butt naked in public, and your significant other, even though y'all are not married, just because y'all are not married, you don't have a right to tell her what to say, what to wear or whatever. What world are you living in? Somebody got to say it, so I'm going to say it. It's time. There's only two types of people that got a problem with Darius Jackson and what he said. Shouldn't have said it publicly, but I'm talking about his overall thoughts. It's only two types. Somebody that don't have a man, or somebody that don't want one.
Perfect.
But not quite perfect. There is another type, and this is the type that we're speaking about. The boss bitch. The boss bitch. That's where his blinders are at, because nowadays we're in a different era. There's the high value man mentality and the boss bitch. I have the money, I have the clout, I have the fame, I have the status, you have zero say. Shut your bitch ass up. That's pretty much what it is. So those type of women, the boss bitches, they're gonna see nothing wrong with this. They're gonna be like, yeah, man, you a house husband. Sit your ass down, man. That's what they're gonna be thinking.
Whoa! It's only two. There's no way on earth that you can sit up there and say he has no right to say anything. That's not practical. That's not real. That's not authentic. That's a lie. So he's not supposed to have morals and standards. And oh, by the way, you're going to sit up there and say, well, his moral standards doesn't necessarily mean it's her moral standards. They're a couple. They're a couple who just had a child together 4 months ago. He shouldn't have said a word publicly, because that's just not the right thing to do. And if you don't believe me.
You said house husbands like resting in their femininity.
Just like a woman.
Colossians 3, verse 18. I'm going biblical on y'all right now. I'm going biblical. That's right, Stephen A. going biblical. That's what y'all forced me to do. Allow me to read. It's from the Bible. It's from the Bible, okay? Are you ready? Wives, this is the Bible, not Stephen A. Smith. I'm just reading, y'all. Jay, Gaff, Sumatra, Ash, I'm just reading. I'm reading from the Bible.
Melanin, hold on. We got to get into this. These dudes who have these ridiculous beauty and body standards need not to complain when their energy is being matched financially. Yeah, that's what we do. We don't complain out here. Wrong platform for that. So when it comes to these beauty standards and body standards, by saying Keke Palmer is average is not having ridiculous beauty and body standards. See, I've been trying to refrain from this. I've been trying so hard to refrain from this. But if y'all go to my Instagram list and look at the girls that are following me, just scroll through the list. And you'll realize very quick that Keke Palmer doesn't even see half of these chicks, and these are just random chicks that follow me on Instagram. But look at the Toronto girls. Don't look at the other girls from these other cities. I can't vouch for them. I'm just saying, I've been trying to avoid that statement, but it's like, come on, man. What are we doing out here? She's just an average girl. It's not like we have the craziest standards. Well, I have pretty high standards. But nonetheless, she's just an average girl.
You got a problem?
And when you're famous and you're a celebrity at that level and you have that much money to pour into your look, you're going to look like you have a leg up on the average girl, especially when you're at these award shows.
Take it up with the good Lord. Wasn't me. I'm reading. Wives, submit to your husbands as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they become discouraged. That's the Bible.
Learn the rules.
Now, there's a second place. I gave you the good Lord. The Lord said, I did that. Now, I'm going to go to personal reference. On the line with us right now is my youngest sister. I am the youngest, but she's my youngest of my 4 sisters. She's my chef on the NBA and Stephen A's World when I'm on ESPN. Okay, and now she is on the show right now because I needed to ask her a couple of questions because I didn't want y'all just thinking that I giving you the mail.
All right, we're not going with the phonetically African excuse. Oh, she has phonetically African features. It's like, I like African features too. It doesn't mean they come. Yo, y'all will just argue for personal taste. She's average, ma'am. She's average. It is personal taste. It is. I could concede to that at least. Nonetheless, I like African features in women. I like dark-skinned women. Keke's average.
Perspective, okay? Carmen Smith, my sister. What's up, baby? How you doing? How you doing, sis?
I love the fact you reference the Bible.
That's
Good
right.
thing.
Well, listen, you're looking just, as I always tell you, you're looking just as good as you want to look. You understand? I got to give you credit where credit's due. My sister's looking gorgeous. Carmen, because I'm your little brother, you've been with me all my life. If my woman...
I'm sorry for interrupting this presentation, but respectfully, Artichoke Hearts.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
Went out in public with a booty exposed.
All right, somebody called in, and every time this fuck calls in, what the hell? Hey, yo, all these fails. We're gonna get back into this.
What would my mother have said, and what would my sisters have said?
If your woman went out with their booty exposed,
That's right.
for one thing, that wouldn't have happened because you wouldn't have let her come out the front door.
Oh, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. But continue. Yeah, go ahead.
And then if you went on to say something publicly about it and tweeted on social media about it, Ma would have a problem with that.
Yes.
Ma would have a problem because, for one thing, that information is private and should be kept private between the couple.
We agree totally.
Yes, he can tell her. Why is he doesn't need to tell everyone else. Everyone else is not living with her, does not have to, you're not a couple with her. He is.
Right.
So that's their argument.
Okay, but
Okay, my bad. So we had someone in the back for a second. We had Mr. Ink in the back, raised hand and then lowered hand. Mr. Ink, my bad. If you called in one more time. Just let me know in the chat if you're going to call in randomly, because I don't know who calls in randomly. Just let me know. But if you called in, say something?
Before you go any further, I need you to look a little bit to your left. You don't need to look right there because you're looking away from our audience. Look a little bit.
Oh,
there you
sorry.
go. Just look
The
straight
way-
to your
the
left.
way
Look
this-
look a little bit to your left, and you good. Just look a little bit to your left. That's all. You good right there. Just look a little bit down, and to your left, and then you looking right at your brother. Okay. Now, here's my point. We know he was wrong. We know he was wrong, and he shouldn't have publicized their business. That's true. But in terms of how he feels as a guy, does he have a right to tell his lady privately, nah, that's not how we roll. We're not doing that. Does he have a right to do that?
Of course he does. That's their relationship. I
Yep.
believe if that's something he doesn't like, if there's something I'm cooking and say who I'm with doesn't like it, and he tells me he doesn't like it, I turn around and do it again, I'm not respecting the things he likes.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you expect to have this relationship grow?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to have it grow because you're not doing the things I like.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Carmen, you do have a lot of ladies out there in today's world that are looking at it and they're saying stuff like, who does he think he is? And they're calling him names.
That's the boss bitch mentality out here, Stephen A.
And stuff like that. I'm trying to find out here where they're calling him the bread loser. Told him he should stay in his lane. They're telling Darius Jackson they're calling him controlling. Told him to finish doing his day job, arranging the date on the breast milk, and shut up. This is the kind of stuff that's being said about him, which is why he shut down his Twitter account for that day. I would ask you, sis, what are you to make? My final question to you is that as a lady, obviously it helped raise your little brother, by the way, and stuff like that. I mean, how do you feel about?
All right, so this is the woman that y'all are campaigning for. This is what I told y'all is an average woman. This is without her makeup, but her lashes are still on. Somebody just called in. Who is this in the back? Stan, man, you have no camera on.
Get him out of here! He's got no place in here! Get rid of him! Okay.
Don't even waste your time calling in if you have no camera on. It says cameras on call-in link. Don't waste your goddamn time or mine. So this is the average woman I'm talking about. She still has her lashes on, but no makeup. So, 1 in the chat if she's average or below. 2's in the chat if she is above average and she is the gorgeous woman that you were campaigning for. Y'all were just talking about how gorgeous she was and how she looked so great. She did look good in that night, but 1's in the chat for average or below. 2's in the chat for above. Look at these ladies just dying on this cliff. A-Lady 747. Artichoke Heart just dying on the cliff. All the women dying on the cliff. This is an above average woman. This is what we have to strive for as men, as an above average woman. Nobody says she's ugly. Nobody says she looks awful. All I'm saying is she's an average woman. Are we done here? Can we take this off the screen?
You up here trying to get people thick.
Yeah, look at these ones coming in. Look at these ones coming in. This is exactly what I thought when we seen the unedited pictures and the no makeup.
Women who feel men shouldn't have anything to say about anything a woman has to do, even if it's their woman in their personal relationship. To that you say what, sister?
Don't be with them. If you feel that you should go out there and dress the way you want to dress, why be with them?
Oh my God, yo, what are we doing here? My bad for interrupting this. We're gonna get back into the reaction. We have a lot here, but this chat, Nikki Pope says that's y'all problem. Y'all focus too much on looks. Okay, so now we're focused too much on looks, but the whole discussion was if she's average or not, and y'all were saying she was better until we found things that showed out otherwise. Now it's, wait, hold on. When everything about her makes her above average to the majority of the country, we gotta grow up. Okay, so this is that boss bitch shit. She's above average and she could disrespect her man because she got all that paper, right? And that's what I've been talking back to when it comes to the red pill shit, when it comes to high value men and boss bitches. We don't give a fuck about how much money you got. We don't care. As a man, just because it doesn't matter if I have substantially more money than a woman, I don't get to just treat her like dog shit because I'm the breadwinner and I'm the high value man and this is a dictatorship and shut your bitch ass up and wash these dishes type shit. This ain't that. So when women do the same on the other side, we ain't having that. See, it's the same foots, nigga. You can't get through, bro. You're wasting your goddamn time. It's the same feats, nigga. Just in the back collecting dust. Nobody even sees you.
Go find somebody else that likes you looking the way you want. And guess what? Listen, Keke looked fabulous. I love her. But to me, it goes back to being private. If that's something he doesn't mind, then go for it. She looked wonderful. And especially just after having a baby. But honestly, I think those women on social media should stop it. Stop meddling. I mean, I'm sure you have things that you can worry about with yourself. Why are you worrying about someone else?
Yeah, because ain't got better things to do. I guess all I'm trying to say. See, to me, this discussion is not about Keke and her man or their personal relationship.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, the chat is unbelievable. Women, what is wrong with y'all?
Just like a woman.
Like, I know y'all are free to talk in the chat, but I have to take in these comments. Hey lady 747, it's good when men reject you for minor surface flaws. Makes room for real men. Minor surface flaw. I'm not saying that her looks would not get her in the door. All I said was she was average, y'all. You can't make this shit up. A woman can't be average. We didn't reject her for her. This stream is not about surface flaw. This is not about the surface flaws. This ain't about appearance. This stream is about the behaviors that are exhibited from high value men and boss bitches. The folks that are ruining the dating atmosphere by thinking that their money leverages them more power to disrespect the folks that they're with. That is the overarching theme of this stream. So when I called her average, all that other shit is like, come on, man. Yo, Feets, get the fuck out of here. You're not getting no screen time. Let me just mute you and put your video. Oh, he hung up, pussy ass nigga. If he just stayed muted and... God damn it.
It's about this notion that people have out there. We've gotten to a point where men can't say a damn thing. We can't say anything. And I'm like this, wait a minute. I can't sit up there and say, if I don't like Carmen, listen, will you tell these people, if I don't like something, Carmen, you're my sister. You're my sister. Abigail's my sister. Linda's my sister. All my sister. You know Mama God rest her soul when she was alive. She was the absolute boss. You understand what I'm saying? Carmen, if I didn't like something that y'all were wearing, if I didn't like how y'all looked, or vice versa, y'all didn't like something I was wearing, how I looked, what would we do to each other?
Comment about it and tell our opinion. But that's in the house.
That's right.
That stayed in the house. Yeah. We didn't go outside to the neighbors or, it wasn't social media as much as it is now. Yeah. But we didn't go on social media. We didn't talk about it outside the house. And that, to me, is where all these comments
Yeah.
are able to come in and infiltrate
Exactly.
their relationship.
There you go. Appreciate it, sis. Thank you so much.
Now that is facts from Stephen A. Smith's sister. Keep that shit in-house, because the second you bring it out and you put it online, it leaves room for people to get involved in your relationship. And that's what he was going for. He was a powerless man. Y'all don't want to hear me, though. Y'all want to say, oh, y'all hate this talking point. Oh, my God, y'all hate this talking point. Man ain't supposed to lead. Why can't y'all just be partners in a relationship? No. This is that boss bitch mentality. I'm the boss bitch. I don't really have to respect you. It's optional. So what he was doing, he was crying out for help to the public. Help me in my relationship. Help me facilitate a little more respect in my relationship, because this chick don't get it. Men are supposed to be able to demand respect. Man of the household, blah, blah, blah. You weren't that. She wears the pants. She's leading. She don't respect you. So she's doing what she wants. She groupied out for Usher at your detriment. She didn't care about your feelings. Boss bitch energy. Y'all don't want to hear me, though.
I got to finish this show. Thank you, sis.
Did I do good? Did I do good?
You did I. You did I. We'll talk later. Love you, girl.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. And she's absolutely, my sister's absolutely right. Of course, it's a private matter and all of that other stuff. But Keke did make it somewhat public because she did what she did publicly. Okay? And her man made it worse because he commented publicly. That was problematic. But I also want to get into a bigger point because nobody wants to bring this up, so I'm going to bring this up, okay? Let me read some numbers to y'all, all right? Because it's important that you know all of this, okay? Did you know that recent U.S. data lists that there are 168.8 million females compared to 162.7 million men? Listen up, fellas. This is important. Listen up, ladies, because this is important. Y'all outnumber the men by 6 million. 6 million. By the way, that doesn't take into account the LGBTQ community. It doesn't take into account that incarceration rate that I told you, 38% white, 38% black.
Yeah, so there's way more available females than there is males. So all these men in the manosphere crying about the lack of availability in these women, acting with this scarcity mindset. Hold on, what point is he making? Let's get into this.
Of the 1.9 million people in this country incarcerated, okay? Doesn't take that into account. I'm just talking about that. That alone, y'all outnumber us by 6 million, okay? Just want you to know that, okay? There's 6 million more of y'all than there is of us.
Oh, yes.
There are 10.9 million single-parent families in the United States. 80% are headed by single mothers, 20% by single fathers. Think about that for a second, because your relationship matters, right? Y'all, you want to work it out. You want to stay together, right? Something's wrong with that picture. Today, 1 in 5 children under the age of 18, a total of about 15.7 million, are being raised without a father. I want to point that out.
Hold on. Let me turn this up real quick. Man, feats? Yo, what the fuck is... Y'all don't want to see feats, man. Y'all don't want to see feats. This nigga's always... Man, the fuck out of here, man.
I want you to think about that. Little less than 50% of children are raised by single mothers are boys. Between 1970 and 2022, the proportion of children living with their mothers in single-parent households increased from 29.5% to 45.6% for black children and 7.8% to 16.7% for white children. Just wanted y'all to know, because when y'all running y'all mouth and y'all trying to create division and a divide and all of that other stuff, in y'all world, y'all might want to break up families, for crying out loud. These are the kind of statistics that you end up having. So I thought I'd throw that out. By the way, I ain't even bring up homicides. Male homicides, 17,185 total homicides. 60% of them, 10,285, are black men.
I'm sorry, you're going to run that back. Feats threw me off a little bit. You asked if he can't be blocked. This is the thing. I already blocked Feats. That's why he runs every time I get into the back room. I just need to shut the fuck up and block him again because he's using multiple devices. This guy is very upset.
Who are these niggas?
Feats, hit the like button, man. You're wasting a lot of time. Hit the PayPal as well. Wanting all this goddamn attention.
By the way, I ain't even bring up homicides. Male homicides, 17,185 total homicides. 60% of them, 10,285, are black men. when y'all are crucifying Darius Jackson. I just want you to know that. I'm just saying, what else is what else is next? Can men say anything? Anything? I love Keke Palmer. You ain't gonna get no shade thrown on her from me. And women out there who want to do what you want to do, you have every right to do what you want to do in terms of from the general populace. But your man, the one you chose, the one you love, the one you're dedicated to, the one you're committed to, the one you're building a family with, he's got some sex.
Yo, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm ruining the reaction. Shout out to A Lady 747 with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
She says, you do know Keke's boyfriend represents for all black men whining and crying. Y'all have been doing on, what is this, SM? That was SM, right? He's every black man, LOL. 100. What the fuck? Oh, that was SM. Y'all know that I cuss a lot and you guys don't have to be super censored. Y'all can kind of just, I'm not going to be able to, I don't, oh, social media, okay. God damn it, stupid moment, y'all. Stupid moment, we all have them. It is what it is.
Hey, because you certainly do. There is the one you're committed to, the one you're building a family with. He's got some say, because you certainly do. There is no woman alive who can convince me she's never complained about her man. There's no woman alive that can convince me of that. It's universally understood. Universally. We don't tear y'all up because of it. We accept it, usually because you're right. And we need to do better. And y'all are our better half. And no matter what we are as men, it is nothing compared to when we have the right woman and a good woman by our side. Deep in the crevices of our soul, we know y'all are the better part of us. Without question. But does that mean we have to be completely emasculated, stripped of any kind of potency whatsoever? We can't say nothing. We can't do it. That's why I'm using the double negative, being grammatically incorrect on purpose. We can't say nothing. We can't do nothing. I mean, damn. Y'all sitting there talking about Darius Jackson like that? Here's my retort in favor of the brother. He did something right. Because Keke Palmer's a hell of a woman. With a sensational future ahead of her. And she chose him. Not just to be with him.
And that is the problem right there. Do you see the way he defines Keke Palmer? This right here.
With a sensational future ahead of him. He did something right. Because Keke Palmer's a hell of a woman. With a sensational future ahead of her.
Now, not shitting on her future, but you're calling her a sensational woman based off of her accomplishments. Based off of her being a childhood star, a talented woman, her accomplishments, boss bitch energy. What about how she is as a wife or a girlfriend, as a partner in a relationship? How is she there? Is she a good communicator? Is she sweet? Is she submissive? Is she gentle? Is she nurturing? Is she any of these laudables that the manosphere and red pill crying ass niggas campaign for? I'm not saying that these are negative things in a woman. I'm just saying these are the things that would be defined as a good woman. Respectable, considerate, all of those things. Not just her money and her accomplishments. And that's the problem. And that's the way we define these women, and they get away with all these things.
And she chose him. Not just to be with him, but to give birth to a beautiful baby boy with him. He must not be all bad. Cut the brother a little slack. Just a little bit. I mean, at the rate some of y'all sound, you ain't gonna be satisfied until men are completely gone. At least have the decency to admit it.
All right, so we have another part of this show where Stephen A. Smith speaks on marriage and modern day relationships and some other crap. I can't even remember what he speaks on in this one. But we're not going to get to this one. The likes are looking kind of dusty. The likes are looking dusty, y'all. It's late at night, and I ain't doing this for these type of dusty likes. Whoa. Shout out to everybody in the chat. But, yeah, we're likely going to wrap this one up, folk. I don't have anybody calling in other than, Feats. Or what was the other name? What do they call him? Long-ass toe fingers? Yeah, he's the only one that keeps calling in and trolling the chat, so I don't know, man. Now we'll get into this.
Started off the show. There's a lot of stuff to get into, but I'm not really interested in talking about sports today because I got something on my mind. I started off the show by saying, should I get married? Contrary to what you would believe, I'm not talking about myself. Okay? I was talking about all of you. It's a question I think everybody out there should ask themselves right now. Now, contrary to what you may believe, although I'm 55 and a father of 2, I have never been married. I am not against marriage at all. In fact, I hope to be married someday. I hope to walk down that aisle. I hope to be standing there on the altar and wait for my beautiful bride to come sauntering down the aisle. I want to see that. I really, really do. Now, me personally, I will prioritize the honeymoon more so than the wedding. That's just me. I'm just telling you right now, that's just me. I would prioritize the honeymoon more than the actual cost of the wedding. You understand? And I think about our life, and I certainly wouldn't want to deplete funds, and I don't think you should all either. But nevertheless, the wedding, as is the case for the ring, is for her. It's not really for you, as dudes. You understand that, right? And of course, I'm talking to the heterosexual couples out there because I am one. Those who are flow in a different direction, that's perfectly fine. That's your business. I'm just telling you, a man, heterosexually, that is, marrying a woman, the ring is for her, the wedding's for her. The honeymoon's for y'all. And the life thereafter is for y'all. But the ring and the honeymoon is for her. I bring all of this because on this particular Friday, you're probably sitting up there asking, what the hell is up with Stephen A? Where he going? Where he going with all of this? I mean, damn, what's going on? Kevin Costner is what's going on. You know that dude? Kevin Costner? Star of Draft Day? You understand? Star of Yellowstone? Who's entering its last
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Is in its last season? That Kevin Costner. What was that movie with Whitney Houston again? Him and Whitney Houston? You understand? I will always love
The Bodyguard.
Excuse me? Bodyguard. That's what it is. Okay? We understand who Kevin Costner is. Great actor. I had the pleasure of interviewing him before. But he's in the news for the wrong reasons. And this is not the first time he's been in the news for this reason. Years ago in 1994, his divorce cost him $80 million. Or he had like an $80 million divorce. I don't know how much exactly it cost him. But he's in the news today because it says Kevin Costner estranged wife blasts inappropriate $52,000 child support payment proposal. $52,000. $52,000 a month.
God damn.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
That's what she's been granted. She said ain't enough. Costner's estranged wife,
It ain't enough?
Christine Baumgartner, reportedly thinks nearly $52,000 a month in child support for 3 kids is completely inappropriate. The former handbag designer, who was in the midst of a contentious divorce with the movie star, stood firm on her stance that her kids, quote, need $248,000 a month in child support.
Just like a woman.
$248,000 a month in child support. She needs that. $50K a month was not enough.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
According to new court documents obtained by TMZ on Thursday. Baumgartner, 49, reportedly pointed out that Costner, who is 68 years of age, that's 19 years of age if you don't know the difference, makes $65,000 per month just for renting out a beachfront property, and that income alone is more than what he is willing to pay for his 3 underage kids. He's got a son, Caden, at 16 years of age, daughters Hayden and Grace, who are 14 and 13, respectively. Baumgartner, the wife, who previously admitted to not having a job herself since her eldest was born in 2007, reportedly said her children are accustomed to a lifestyle that includes assistants, helpers who handle schedules, grocery shopping, food prep, cleaning, and cooking. However, Costner has maintained that $51,940 a month, which is what he's currently paying, is the only reasonable amount of money that he should have to pay in child support. The actor also recently alleged that he simply, quote, cannot afford a higher amount, end quote, since he will no longer be on his hit show, Yellowstone. He said he'll earn substantially less in 2023.
Do y'all realize that Tyrese was crying over this amount?
I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?
He's at $51K a month and she wants $248K.
Than he did in 2022. Costner also previously argued via his attorneys that Baumgartner is allegedly seeking a higher payday for child support in order to fund her own personal expenses.
Shut up, bitch.
According to Page 6, the Hidden Figures actor's forensic accountant found out his estranged wife spends more than $100,000 per month on cosmetic surgery procedures. This forensic accountant found out his estranged wife spends more than $100,000 per month on cosmetic surgery procedures.
Hold up! What is this shit?
The Hidden Figures actor's forensic accountant found out his estranged wife spends more than $100,000 per month on cosmetic surgery procedures.
$100K a month on cosmetic surgery procedures?
Stop it. Get some help.
How much surgery? What the
And that's the real reason she is asking for so much more money. Boutique shopping, ATM withdrawals, construction loans, attorney fees and other expenses, blah, 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 blah. Says Costner reportedly also offered to pay.
How much of that face is actually still hers at this point? Holy.
Baumgartner a $10,000 advance toward her moving costs and $30,000 per month for a rental house as part of his child support. Let me tell you where I'm going with this. And by the
Sorry.
Says Costner reportedly also offered to pay Baumgartner a $10,000 advance toward her moving costs and $30,000 per month for a rental house as part of his child support. Let me tell you where I'm going with this. And by the way, the number to call in is 626-SAS-0769. That's 626-727-0769. That's the number to call in to holler at me directly. Let me tell you why I bring it.
DBB, that is a great point. She spends more. She spends like LeBron spends $1 million per year on his body to keep him in shape with when it comes to all his other programs that he does, the trainers, everything included. She spends more on cosmetic surgeries per year than LeBron does to keep his body in shape, which keeps him making hundreds of millions. Like, this is ridiculous.
This subject. It's time that we have this discussion. Somebody's gotta have it. So we gonna have it. I I believe in the sanctity of marriage. My parents were married for 60 years. 59 to be exact.
Like, there is a reason for LeBron to spend $1 million a year on his body for his upkeep, the training, the cryo chambers, all the things that he does, that he puts into his body, all the workout that he does, the trainers. It makes sense because his body is it's his tool to make money. It's his entire career. This woman is just doing it for aesthetic purposes. Changing up her face every, like, what? A month? So if you're having surgery every goddamn month then on your face.
I believe in the sanctity of marriage. I have statistics here that show that happy wife, happy life.
Facts, Grey Pill. He is his brand. His body is his brand. That's his livelihood. That's his money. That's everything.
Married people live longer than divorcees. All of that is true. But here's where it gets interesting. Is it time to start asking the question as to what is the incentive of marriage? Is it for money or is it for love? Because you see, I got some stuff here. Some statistical information. We got Kevin Costner and what he's going through. Bill and Melinda Gates. Their net worth was at $112 billion. Melinda reportedly got $76 billion from Bill Gates.
Just like a woman.
76 billion. 76 billion. Dr. Dre, the GOAT, and Nicole Young finalized a $100 million divorce with his wife of 24 years. He was ordered to pay Young two separate $50 million transactions. $50 million.
Jesus Christ.
Per two. Michael Jordan and Juanita Jordan, remember that one? After 17 years of marriage, that was a $168 million divorce settlement. Plus $2.1 million in legal fees. How about Tiger Woods and Ellen Nordegren? We ain't feeling no sympathy for Tiger. We know what happened. We know what happened with that, but it cost him $100 million. Matt Lauer, Annette Roque. Remember when he lost his job at NBC Today and ultimately ended up divorced after his firing from the show, an incident sparked by serious allegations of sexual misconduct? The divorce was finalized in 2019 after 20 years of marriage. She walked away with $20 million, an equivalent of $1 million for each year they stayed together. James Cameron, the Titanic director, and Terminator franchise star Lisa Hamilton. That was short-lived, spanning only a year and a half. After only a year and a half of marriage, the divorce reportedly cut his earnings from the film in half after Hamilton was awarded $50 million as part of a 1999 divorce settlement. 18 months of marriage. $50 million. $50 million. Jeff Bezos, remember that one, right?
Who was the guy in that divorce?
Who was on crack?
What in the fuck did he have happen to him? How much? Wait, I'm sorry, y'all.
Earnings from the film in half, year and a half. After only a year and a half of marriage, the divorce reportedly cut his earnings from the film in half after Hamilton was awarded $50 million as part of a 1999 divorce settlement. 18 months of marriage. $50 million.
Yeah, his wife was definitely like,
Let's rob that nigga, man. Yeah, son.
like, are you fucked? 18 months? Yo, come on, man. You gotta handle your life better than that, man.
$50 million. Jeff Bezos, remember that one, right? Divorce final. Settlement was only $38 billion. $38 billion. $38 billion. I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying it's time somebody, we gotta have this discussion. We gotta stop acting like there's people out here, men and women, by the way, who are scared to walk down that aisle because, oh my Lord, I don't know if I could be monogamous. No, that's not it. That's not it. We don't know in some of these cases whether infidelity was a part of the equation or not. It is entirely possible that people could have been completely loyal. It's entirely possible that people could have been all into their significant other before things went awry. And we got courts ordering folks.
I'm sorry, y'all, but this is one of those cases that everybody in the crowd is probably doing this right now. When you are worth that much, that's the problem. We say this on these airways all the time, but we get people that are shooting down these thoughts. But it's like, at the end of the day, as a man, you have to be accountable and you have to protect yourself. You can't be all up in this lily fairy tale love bullshit and come crying to us after when you lose $38 billion in a divorce. She was thinking business. Your dumbass was thinking love. At that point, you got to protect yourself more than that, unless you just feel like she deserves that money and away with it. Of course, Jeff Bezos is worth way more than what he parted ways with before the divorce, so he cut it early. But damn, that's a lot of money to just be losing. The richest women on this planet are wealthy due to divorce. Of course, there's women that made their billions, but most of them, and the richest, are rich off divorce. They're playing the game properly. It is what it is, man. This all sounds outrageous, but when you bring this to the public only says this.
Crying to me, and I'm not having that.
Talk about rich people problems. A lot of people haven't touched a fraction of that money, so they see that you lost it and they don't really care. It is what it is. These are stories to learn from.
To hand out tens of millions, if not billions of dollars. Billions. I mean, is anybody going to say something about this? Now, you, Kevin Costner, listen, I'm not trying to get in this pot.
Stop the cap.
It's a total fabrication.
Moxie, what? I'm talking like Pearl now? That's when y'all get ridiculous. That's when y'all get ridiculous saying stupid shit like that. Talking like Pearl. These are things that I always talk about. Y'all tried to debate me about red flags in women. I'm the person that gives people the answers to the playbook and they don't want the answers. They want to cry and complain about these arbitrary things. At the end of the day, protect yourself, handle your business correctly, and you don't got to come crying to the public. At the end of the day, women don't hear men's complaints. Not at all. Y'all keep saying crying, black men complaining. We've had super chats outlining black men complaining on social media. Women don't hear the complaints. So what you do is you find the solutions, handle yourself accordingly, and let them come crying to social media, because we ain't playing that. But y'all would try to shoot back at the red flags and try to shoot down men's standards. But at the end of the day, I'm dogmatic for a reason on these type of things, because it's bullshit. You can't listen to what women say. You got to stand on your standards and principles and be unwavering. Because when you're crying and complaining, they don't want to hear that. We can only hear their complaints. It's one-sided in that way. And men have to understand that. Stop coming to the internet with your complaints. Stop coming to them complaining to them like they give a fuck. They don't.
Listen, the brother's 68 years old, y'all. He ain't 28. He ain't got 40 years left in the business. I mean, when you talk about one over $240,000 a month, you talk about nearly $3 million a year. $3 million. Now that's child support. Now see, that's where I differ, because my attitude is very, very simple. As a daddy, they hungry is because I'm starving. I don't eat unless they eat. I ain't comfortable unless they comfortable. All of that is true. And always, 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 your child should maintain the same quality of life you have. Period. But God, Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell y'all about some of my personal experiences as it pertains to some of my boys. And ladies.
I would like y'all to witness the arguments that are coming from the chat now. When I said what I said, I got a not true. You guys aren't sincere. That is the combat from A Lady 747.
We don't care.
Let me tell you. We don't care.
Y'all don't want to listen to the good guys. The good guys are the guys that are complaining all day on social media, complaining all day in the red pill space, complaining about the lack of good women. Those are the good guys. Y'all don't want them.
See, I'm no fan of Eric Benet because of Halle Berry. I ain't like the fact that it was signed, according to the court papers, palimony. You a man, earn your own way. I'm chauvinistic like that. You doing taking money from a woman for? And I know of women who have had the same thing against them that some of these dudes have. But let me tell you about the dudes. I know a brother. He's one of my boys. He knows who he is. I ain't gonna say his name. He was married. They never.
What are you talking about? I'm not talking about the red pill dudes, not the red pill. The manosphere adjacent complainers, not the red pill dudes. Not the fresh and fit dudes selling that fugazi ideology. I'm talking about the men that are constantly complaining about their issues with women. Those are the good guys. The good guys are the guys you see on Fatty's channel. No disrespect, but it is what it is. Those are the good guys complaining, constantly crying. Oh, we're doing this. The women aren't doing this. Da, 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 da. It's like, come on.
Never had any kids.
I said the red pill dudes, I meant something else, all right? Goddamn. What time is it? Are you calling in, Moxie? Someone called in. Jones is in the back. Who's Jones? I see a dark video. Is this just Feets again? It's just Feets. Feets, fuck off, bitch ass nigga. God damn it.
He wasn't feeling the relationship anymore. Neither was she. The divorce wasn't even contested.
All right, so now I have to be super careful with my words because y'all are playing semantics. Good men don't go around complaining on the internet. When I mean the good men, I'm talking about the good guy. The good guy. The guy that finishes last. Good guys finish last. The guy that's overlooked. The guy that has all the accolades on paper but is invisible to women. The good guy. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all are playing stupid right now, man. Y'all are really playing stupid.
And the courts ordered him to pay $12,000 per month. That ain't child support. That's adult support. That's wife support. $12,000 a month? He wasn't even making $1 million a year. $12,000 a month? Just because y'all ain't together no more? She wasn't disabled. She had a job. Why you had to pay $12,000 a month? I know one of my female friends, she was actually making more money than her man. He cheated. He cheated. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. He cheated.
It's not hard to believe. That's what happens a lot of the times. These boss bitches think that they can suffocate their men with the money, act like it's such leverage, and they're going to disrespect their men in various different ways. So that man ends up cheating. We've seen it happen with Safari. We've seen how Nicki Minaj constantly disrespected Safari through the relationship. And what did Safari do? He had enough and he cheated. He belonged to the streets. He started living his best life. Because he was constantly emasculated and disrespected, treated like crap. So he cheated. That's what happens. It happens with women too, with these high-value men that think it's open on their end and closed on their end. And those are the same girls that just be, you know what? Let's get into this, man.
He cheated. And she still was ordered to pay this brother $15,000 a month. See, we talk about marriage in this country. In this country, we talk about marriage. But every time you turn around, it's a financial transaction. And it's getting to the point where prenups ain't safe because you got people contesting prenups. This latest woman, I forgot her name, that reportedly was messing with Tiger Woods, they weren't married, but she signed an NDA. She wants to violate the NDA so she can speak.
Wait, Lady 747, are you feats? What do you mean you keep dropping? You call in and you keep dropping? That's what feats be doing.
Unless she get paid more money. Allegedly. I mean, what the hell's going on, y'all? I looked at Kevin Costner and I almost wanted to cry. I'm like, her name was Erica Herman, the woman with Tiger Woods, by the way. That's right, Jay? Erica Herman. I wanted to cry for Kevin Costner. Because ain't none of us getting older. Don't you see my hairline creeping a little bit backwards? Don't you see the gray in the side of my head? I'm closer to 68 than I am to 28. Now, he got with a younger, foxy-looking lady. She's 49 right now. Married for years. Born 3 children. 3 wonderful, beautiful-looking children. Man, 68 years old. Yellowstone is going off the air. This is their last season. I ain't hear about no movies knocking on his door. Ain't no more bodyguard movies coming out. What's he gonna do? We don't know. $240,000 a month. He giving you 52. You get money. In other ways, what do they say here? The $10,000 advance.
All right, if y'all want to call up, I'll make a one-time exception. The rules are camera on only, but if you've called in before and you don't want to, or actually, if you call in, I'll make the exception. No, you can use a picture, an avatar. If y'all really want to debate me on some of these points, a one-time exception. The rule is that you have to cam up so people can't forget that because they see a one-time show where people could call in. If y'all want to call in to debate me and use a screen, a picture or whatever because it's late at this time, y'all can do that. If you've called in before, you can get that passed. If you haven't, you might have to cam up in the back so I know that you're not feats, and then you could call in.
$30,000 per month for a rental house as part of the child support on top of the $52,000. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, at some point in time, these subjects have to be addressed. I understand people live longer when they stay married.
And this is why I do the child support court videos, because it shows folks what actually happens in child support court. Fuck all the divorce court shit. I don't have that. That's somebody else has to bring that up. But when it comes to the child support court, at least y'all know what the kids are supposed to be getting and how they process it in real court, and you don't have to have somebody just get on air and just espouse rhetoric that may or may not be true and just use their credentials to pretty much solidify it when you really can't take their word for it. You want to have the evidence, so it's better to have the court cases. So that's why we do that. But let's get into this.
Then when they get divorced, I understand some of these divorce deaths are out. Marriage rate has declined too, dropping from 8.2 per population to 2000 to 6 per population in 2021. You know why that is, right? See, the divorce rate is dipping a little bit because people either are choosing not to get married at the rate they once were, or they're choosing to stay married because it's cheaper to keep the other, male or female. And I'm not pointing the finger at women because there's men doing it to women too, because there's women out there in the workforce making money. And in some cases, making more than men. And getting hosed. I'm just saying, y'all. I keep thinking about that movie with Tina Turner and Ike. What's love got to do with it? And I'm not going to advocate or anything like that. That's not why I brought up what's love got to do with it, because we know how sorry Ike Turner was as a human being, at least how it was depicted. I'm not talking about all that. I'm just talking about the fact that what the hell does love got to do with it when it comes down to that amount of money coming out of people's pocket? Finances are a big reason why people are getting divorced these days, you know. Finances.
Finances is the number one reason for the end of a relationship or a marriage. That's not spoken out. That's not spoken about enough. People like to focus on the infidelities and the things that are more salacious to speak about, but that is the primary cause of most divorces.
There's other things, arguing and conflict, infidelity, of course, but there's also finances. I'm just saying, y'all, stay with me on this. I want to cry. I'm thinking about that 68-year-old man. I mean, we ain't getting no younger, y'all. We ain't getting no younger. We ain't getting no younger. Women, yeah, you get old, so do men. And by the way, one could easily argue that y'all work better older than most men do. I'm not talking about myself. But the fact of the matter is, y'all good to go. Y'all all right. A lot of times y'all better off than a lot of us. But this ain't no gender issue right here. This country that we living in, it's taking money every chance we get. It's taking money. I got so many statistics here, I can't even read them. Can't even read them. Because I don't have the time. I got my man Dion Cole coming up next. He's funny as hell. And he's got something out on BET Plus that's doing some good things. And I got to talk about him in a second. But I'm just saying, this is some serious, serious business. I thought I was going to have some fun and laugh about some of this stuff. But the more I think about that money coming out of Kevin Costner's pocket, he's trying to get out of his pocket, the worse it gets. At some point in time, we're going to have a conversation about this. My boy Cardell is listening somewhere. My brother. He just...
Hi, how are you?
I was on mute the whole time on the outside, so yeah, they didn't hear any of that. This is Are You Amused? She was in the back. Lil Feats is still in the back doing this thing, but he's gonna be wasting his time. So what do you got on the topic?
Okay, can you hear me okay? I've never used this platform. I only see a black screen.
It's
so
kind of fuzzy. It was good a second ago, and now it started to break up.
Oh, okay. Well, can you still hear me okay, though?
No. Hold on. Let me mute you and unmute. Can you speak again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's still robotic and fuzzy. I don't know what's going on.
Do you do Safari or Chrome?
I use Chrome.
Okay, you want me to drop down and try to come back up?
Oh, for like on your phone, you call in. Shit. I don't know. I never really called in on my phone. I think I use Safari.
Okay, no worries. Let me drop down and I'll use my laptop.
Okay, thanks.
All right, cool.
All right, so Feats is parading as zesty Mexican in the back, but pause. You're not making it on screen, Feats. We fixed that issue. You're just dusting it up in the background. We can hear your audio, not anymore. Yeah, see, he's gone now. Feats just be wasting his time back there. That trolling shit he did that one time allowed me to fix all the issues that he got by. So he's just wasting his time. He's dusting it up. This man's been calling in for the duration of the show. Ever since I opened the call-in link, he's been calling in trying to derail the show. Unsuccessfully, of course. Because obviously...
we don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
Shout out to Robbie in the chat. I'll give y'all a few minutes to like create a panel if y'all want to have a panel discussion, but if not, I'm offing it. We out. I have a lot more shows to come up with, a lot more clips to get out, a lot of work to be doing. So I might not be live tomorrow morning or in the afternoon. But I'm trying to get an abundance of shows and collaborations and clips out there. So I have a busy schedule ahead of me. So if y'all want to have a discussion about this, discuss anything. If y'all want to talk about Sukiyana dropping that filthy man, Feets, get out of here, man. That dusty sex tape. It was like an unreleased thing from her OnlyFans where she was basically pleasuring herself and she dropped that sex tape. It went viral. Okay. There's only one way to describe that film. The footage.
You up here trying to get people sick?
Do y'all want me to describe it? Because it was a sex tape. I don't know if y'all want the details. Might get a little racy for y'all. It was very filthy, so I don't know if y'all want a description of what she was doing. But she did something and it looked like sewage water. Let's just put it that way. It was filthy. I don't know if y'all seen it. It's on Twitter. I share a lot of sex tapes on Twitter because it's Twitter. Describe it? Oh, God. All right, so she was laying there, sprawled out. Vibrating herself till she squirted, sewage water all up in the screen. It was filthy.
You a damn lie.
Man, shut your bitch ass up. Fuck wrong with this nigga? So we just heard Feet's voice for the first time. Yeah, it was filthy. It was absolute filthiness.
Oh, yes. The camera loves your nastiness.
As I was saying, on the LTTV YouTube and the Blunt Talk with LT Twitter, because I don't do it on my main account. I don't spam folks' account with the X-rated shit. But I share that shit on Twitter. A lot of different tapes. I didn't touch that one. That one was filthy. I seen that. I scrolled expeditiously. I'm like, no.
Stop it. Get some help.
Nah. It was not it. It's not it. Do you think anyone will get turned on by it? It was getting cooked all day on Twitter. Folks that like that type of shit were not turned on by it. It was not like the description. Some people might think, oh, a girl just vibrating herself in front of the camera. What's wrong with that? But when you see the footage and you see it was not it, man. It was not it. It was, man, I don't even want to talk about it. So I think someone told me to cover that. I'm like, what do you want to say? What do y'all want me to say?
You up here trying to get people sick?
At that point, that's all I have to say about that. Like, that was not for my eyes. Man. All right, so call-in link is in the description, or it's pinned to the top of the chat. Call-in link is pinned to the top of the chat. Y'all want to join the panel, have a discussion. Y'all got about a minute at best. We wrapping this up. Okay, so we have Are You Amused in the back, and we also have Feats, but Feats ain't getting through. All right, so what's up, Are You Amused?
Ooh, I got an echo. I'm really fucking up. Hold on. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
I'm being so lame right now. I am so sorry. I don't know how to work this. All right, cool. I finally got it together. I apologize. Are y'all still on the same subject? Because it's a
Bro, you haven't talked about Myron Gaines. Put Myron.
Sorry, I don't know how.
Wow.
yeah, this nigga's he's trying his best to interfere on everything.
He relentless.
Yeah, but he jumps in before I can block his account again so he can't get back in, because you can ban someone permanently, but he jumps in and jumps out real quick. So, man, next time he does it, he's finished. So, all right, so what do you got to say?
Oh, okay. So, in reference to the conversation with Stephen A, you know how the conversation was evolving amongst the women and stuff like that, right? So this is kind of a soapbox of mine. You was mentioning good guys, right? So my thing is, like, what exactly is a good guy? Because even myself as a human being, I don't necessarily feel like I'm a good person. I don't feel like I'm a bad person. You know, like how is that? How do you measure good? Like, how is that quantified when it comes to good guys?
In these type of conversations, the good guy is generally synonymous with the guy that tries to be upfront, forward, honest with women, generally gets dusty results, gets used on dates, generally comes to the social media and complains about his issues, and he ends up finishing last. Although
yeah, that's
women
because
will tell,
Myron Gaines is a high value man.
Man, this guy waited for a moment where I was making a speech where I was not paying attention. Yo, these guys are so fucking annoying. Jesus Christ.
This shit is crazy.
All right, no, I'm a high alert. I'm getting this pussy now. Nah, this guy's getting out of here. This is his last run. This is like whack-a-mole right now. This guy just keeps, this is his last run. We getting him the fuck out of here. But as I was saying, it's like, yeah, these guys come and they sit on these panels and they talk about the value that they bring for women. They're talking about being responsible fathers. They're talking about what they earn, their school or their education. And they don't really have good results with women, although they get the comments in the comment section online telling them that they're good men. They should have these results. But they're typically the men that are complaining about women in these spaces. Those guys are typically what I look at as the good guy, because they're playing the games wrong. They're crying about the game. They're crying about the player instead of just acknowledging that this is the game and this is what's going on, and stop being so idealistic in what you want in women and deal with the reality in front of you. Those are the good guys. They don't really have a handle on that. They're struggling with that.
So I guess I would be considered a good woman then. I mean, by that logic. But I'm kind of fucking with you right now. But what's funny to me is, like, some of these same people that you're talking about, to me, are pieces of shit. Like some of these same dudes, like, when I came into these spaces, right, I've been called everything but a child of God for being a fat black single mother. You know what I'm saying? By these same good guys. And so my thing is, I think there's a way to have a conversation, right? That's like me saying, oh, hey, LTTV, I came here to help you, but yet I'm stepping on your toes at the same time with 6-inch heels on. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to take in that information. And my thing is, everyone's experience is valid, right? Even the pieces of shit that I've come across in these spaces, their experience is still valid. I will never tell a person how to feel. Myron Gaines,
what happened?
Whatever you talking about, feet, get your ass out of here.
Oh, you can see, right? Yeah, I got that quick.
Because everybody's experience is valid. But I do think that, yeah, you did. You caught it. But I do think it's an effective way that you can have a conversation, not you, but generally speaking, right? Where people are able to express how they feel and be able to get across, you know what I'm saying, what it is that they desire, et cetera, et cetera. But what I found is a lot of those conversations are superficial, right? And it's not because, you know, oh, you being sensitive, you just need to lose weight, bitch. Like, I used to hear all kind of shit, and I still do. All right, fine, whatever. Aside from that, you catch way more bees with honey than vinegar. That's like me telling a dude, you know what, babe? Like, I really love you, but your stroke game is trash. Like, nigga, you ain't hitting on nothing. Like what? Like, I really be wanting to cheat on you because it's like, yeah, it's a dude that I know from back in the day. My God, that nigga made my eyes cross. Like, I mean, how would a dude take that in? That motherfucker would despise me. You understand what I'm saying? So when some of these dudes get in these spaces, and don't get me wrong, I get the level of frustration, right? Because I understand that frustration. I'm a person that can empathize. I get it, right? But when it comes out, some of these people can't really expect, I don't know what they expect, but to me, it is irrational and unreasonable to think that somebody will hear you with an open heart. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my gripe with some of these people. And then they'll be like, oh, you just don't want to hear the truth. It's like, you know how they say, oh, brutal honesty. Like, to me, I don't really like that term, right? Because if I care about a person, if I care about how I leave you feeling, I don't have a need to be brutal. You know what I'm saying? If I give a you know? And so that's my gripe with some of these people. Like, a lot of these dudes are fucking baby Ike Turners talking about, oh, we care. It's because we care about y'all. Like, how the fuck, how you care? Because we had to go get this white mangy ass girl to come check. Like, you know, these dudes is weird out here. I'm sorry. I enjoy, somebody invited me, right, to your channel. I enjoy your content. So far, it's been a few days. First time I logged on, you was in the middle of a rant or something. And I was like, oh, I said, he got an attitude. I said, he seemed pissy. And I logged off, right? Next day I checked out, you know, starting towards the beginning of the show. You know what I'm saying? So, because, you know, when you catch stuff in the middle, you're like, what the hell going on? Anyway, I enjoy the energy because it's not, at least my perspective, your channel doesn't seem to be, you ain't trying to create hostile territory. You know what I'm saying? You're actually trying to build a brand, and I respect that. And so those spaces where I was getting all that energy, I honestly just had to remove myself because it was like trying to get a hug from a wall that was beating a dead horse. Like, what the fuck is the point? At the end of the day, it ain't nothing but stress for me. You know what I'm saying? Some people enjoy it, but to me, there's no point. So at the end of the day, I think a lot of this stuff is subjective, but it's all valid, and people just frustrated, and so it's not going to come out right. And some of these dudes just plain hate women. I'm sorry.
Yep, there's a lot of that, but a lot of the space is built off of making dating adversarial. So they will shout out that they do care and they're out for the best interest of women, but a lot of it is marketed towards having constant combat in men and women debating these talking points and trying to leverage some sort of talking point to leverage power in a relationship. And there's a lot of those talking points being espoused in these spaces, but a lot of it is marketing. A lot of it is marketing what we see in the gender wars strategically and coming across as, oh, I'm a good person, I'm just looking out for the best interest of the community, but really you're just marketing fuckery so people will argue back and forth to keep the content going. There's a lot of that in these spaces, but if people buy into it, I just look at it like, yeah, you want to participate in it, you buy into it, that's your issue at this point. So
exactly. And so that was my thing. Even when I was in those spaces, it was times where my feelings was hurt, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm the type of person, I can be abrasive, right? But I don't attack people on GP. Like, you have to do something to me. You know what I'm saying? And then when I get in these spaces, like, you being attacked just for being present, you know? And so it's interesting. And so there were times where I left, you know, and my feelings was hurt because I'm fucking human. And then people will say, oh, it's just the internet, which is bullshit, right? But that's a part of that that conflict. And I get what you're saying in that regard, because the other day you was talking about, you know, just some things that you don't rock with, right? Yeah. And are you still there because your camera went out?
Yeah, one of my my Sony died.
Okay, no worries.
It dies
I just
often.
make sure you was there. And so you was ranting about some things that, you know, you don't rock with. And I get that sentiment, right? Because if you're a person of integrity, sometimes it's hard to take in a lot of the things that go on in these spaces, because like you said, it's marketing. So people used to tell me like, Jay, you just need to chill, just accept it as entertainment. And I'm like, how the fuck do I just accept this as entertainment when you got a ton of people that are looking for guidance? I wouldn't look for guidance on YouTube, but you got some people that are looking for answers. You got a lot of young people that come to these spaces looking for answers, looking for guidance, because a lot of them ain't got no motherfucking daddy, or their mom can't be present, or they just don't have parents for whatever reason. And then you have these people that say all kind of shit, and they just hear, like you said, the market, but people internalize this trash. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's a part of the conflict for me. But yeah, it's like, it's real unfortunate, because a lot of this shit they're talking about, even the attractiveness, right? So you were talking about above average, what, all that stuff.
It's subjective.
Right, as you already know. And that's what cracks me up, because most people I know that's married, LT, most of them people are not the most attractive, right? Like, I see all sorts of people get married. I see all sorts of people that are married and that have been married. Do that like speak credence to the quality of their marriage? No, but you know, these spaces make it as if only certain people can get married. And a lot of these people just fucking delusional. Like even some of these dudes, they out here looking like 3 fucking bags of fucking juicy garbage talking about these people fucking crazy out here, like for real. Like, so it's just kind of weird to me. Okay, give me your perspective, because I ramble a lot. So you got to pull me in, and I'm good with that, because this your shit. So question, when it comes to this is my thought when it comes to a lot of this criteria and all these requirements, right? This is how I feel. And you can tell me what your thoughts are. I feel like people are confused because they're getting superficial results, but most of these spaces, all they talk about is superficial things. So should somebody anticipate having a different experience outside of superficial? That's the part that I don't get.
I don't think that you can look for solutions in a space that is marketed as community building and relationship building, but really and truly that's not what they're there for. They're not solution oriented. So buying into a lot of these spaces, you're just buying into more problems, and you start inheriting the problems that they're dealing with in relationships instead of just separating yourself and going outside and dealing with people in the real world. Because a lot of these talking points have no business in actual conversations while trying to build with somebody in a relationship. Even some of the points that I make these points because I'm on a show and the points are valid, but I would not communicate these points the way I would do it on air as I would do it to a woman that I'm speaking to, or my woman. So it's like a lot of these things lead people astray, but it's entertainment. So it's marketed as community building, so everybody gets involved. But people need to take a step back and just use some critical thinking and understand that this is all entertainment. Even the points that you agree with, they're just points you agree with simply. You should not use them as your ideology to run off and live life now, because it's just entertainment.
Right. And that's exactly what they're doing. Like you said, see, you're able to gather context and nuance. Like you're able to break down the layers, right? You have people, like you said, these conversations, you wouldn't necessarily have these specific type conversations with a woman in person. You got some of these damn weirdos actually go out and have these conversations outside, offline. And it's just strange. Like these people are insane. I don't know. It's just baffling to me.
Hold on. Can I stop you for 1 second?
Sure,
I have to respond to this. A Lady 747 says, "Why do you do it if it's harmful? You know your audience is a little slow." I don't think my audience is as dense as a lot of audiences out there. I think my audience actually has y'all contribute a lot. Y'all actually say some witty things here and there. Y'all need to give yourself a little more credit. I don't think that what I say in my rhetoric is harmful. I'm talking about the way I deliver some of the things that I say. I might be direct and I might word it in a way where a large group of people could understand it, but I would not be wording that to a woman that I'm dealing with intimately. Like some of these words and the way some of these things come off, like these are talking points that you're not gonna, like even the leadership shit in a relationship, a lot of these things are unspoken. A woman's just naturally respectful and she's just in her role. A man is naturally respectful. He's in his role. There's not these talking points in a relationship talking about, oh, I'm leading, you're stepping on my foot. It's just natural. So a lot of these points that we espouse is just for people to understand. You're not supposed to take the direct talking point and copy and paste it and bring it into a conversation. And it's not like when she said harmful, I don't believe anything that I'm saying is harmful. It's just my opinion. If it ends up being harmful, then it is what it is. But I believe everything that I'm saying here. I'm not trying to sell y'all some marketing. I think that the way I do my show markets itself, just keeping it authentic with these topics and keeping the constant topics that are, hot topics being spoken about. So I don't need to do that the way I built my show, but a lot of folks do that.
You're the first person that has articulated it in that way. You're the first person I have heard since I've been in these spaces for a couple years that has articulated it in that way to differentiate. That's the problem. A lot of them don't differentiate. You know what I'm saying? And they're not able to separate, and the lines become blurred, and it just becomes a whole clusterfuck. Yeah, but in regards to that stuff, my other point, do you have a time limit? I'm sorry, dear.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so Steven, right? When people start talking about the whining and stuff like that in the chat, when you caught the comments, when I talk about whining personally, and I know this isn't logical, right? But I'm a person, I go off people energy, right? I could rock with anybody, even through disagreements, if their energy isn't malicious, right? So in that regard, there's a certain energy that comes with whining, in my opinion. And it's not about what is said, it's how it's said, right? And so then people get mad and say, oh, you're trying to tone police. It's not that. But people still have to be mindful how they try to get their point across if they want somebody to listen. So even Stephen A., this is my issue. When I talk about guys whining, guys that whine, they will make every complaint in the book, but they lack the capacity to self-reflect. You see what I'm saying? And so even in the examples that Stephen was given, everything, the whole narrative was around what is being done to the man. And to me, that's what creates victims, and that's what comes off as whining, in my opinion.
It's true.
When I come across a dude that has balance in his thinking, and he's able to say, well, listen, I don't really feel appreciated, you know what I'm saying? XYZ, you know, and they just articulate what they feel like, dang, Jay, like, I would really appreciate XYZ. When you do this, this is how you leave me feeling. Now, I can understand that maybe since, you know, I'm not always coming home on time, that you may feel away, and I get that, but I just want to, like, to me, that's the ability to self-reflect. They're able to go back and forth and see how the other person feel. A lot of these fucking weirdos don't do that. They just create this whole goddamn checklist, especially when it comes to Black women. It's a whole checklist of everything we didn't do right. Some of these same guys you talking about, the good guys, them motherfuckers done told me I'm the problem with the community. I've been called hoes. I've been called everything. You know what I'm saying? And so it's amazing to me because it's like, okay, well, bitch, where your daddy at? You mad because you don't even know where your daddy at, but you over here trying to take it out on me. They ain't got shit to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But I digress, you know, but it's funny because that's the kind of energy that the shit give. But yeah, anybody that could self-reflect, I could work with that. But when people are constantly browbeating and attacking, it's hard to take in. That's just like a dude that come home every day and his wife got a complaint every day. And throughout those complaints, she don't take the time to say, well, you know what, babe, I know I'm kind of bitching, you know, but I truly appreciate you going out and working and whatever every day and holding it down for us. In the midst of the quote unquote nagging, if she was able to insert that here or there, he may be able to take it in a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So I think that people just have to be mindful. Yep. I could get on a soapbox and talk about all the shitty things that been done to me. But if I don't self-reflect and I don't say, okay, well, I could see how there have been times where I exacerbated a situation or I created this volatile atmosphere because I felt the way and I didn't articulate it. Me personally, I can't stand no crying ass nigga. Listen, LT, I don't know what it is, but it's almost like a demon getting me, like for real. I don't even allow my children to fucking whine. I can't deal with no whining man. I have 2 boys. When they get hurt, they allowed to feel away. They allowed to cry. They even allowed to be angry. My little one to tell me I'm angry. I be like, it's okay to be angry, but you better not slam my damn door.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even suppress my children's feelings because people should be able to express how they feel. But that's the issue with a lot of people in general. We wasn't allowed the grace to express our feelings, so we don't know how to articulate.
That is very true. That is
and
very
so that
true.
was something I had to learn too myself. I didn't know how to articulate because you know, especially how folks get down with us. Like who you think you supposed to be mad in this house? You don't pay no damn bills. You know what I'm saying? So that was the sentiment. But me, I allow my kids to express themselves. But my child, like if he scrape his knee and he want to cry, I give him a hug. I look at his knee. I be like, oh, that hurt, didn't it? Yeah, he'll cry. I love on him. But we ain't finna milk this shit. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to check out his knee, make sure it ain't nothing major. And I'd be like, okay, wipe your face. And I send him on his way.
These are the points that I try to...
A man crying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, see, these are the points that I try to get across to folks on these airways, especially the manosphere folks, when it comes to complaining and whining. The way you described it, I try to let them understand the way they constantly complain about masculine women and women being so aggressive and masculine and blah, blah, blah. It's off-putting. It's turning them off. It is exactly the same. Sorry?
I said, I'm a man, let them tell it.
Yeah, so it's like when they complain about those type of things, they have to understand that the way a man complains and constantly whines is exactly the same way women feel about men. Wait, I'm fucking this up. I'm confusing my words. God damn it, Slay. Hold on. The way men feel about women that are masculine is the same way women feel about men that are constantly complaining and whining. They try to use the gay version. Oh, if a man's gay and feminine, that's the way. But no, if a man's constantly complaining on these airways about what women are doing, that is the equivalent. So they use the wrong equivalent in the red pill space, but the right equivalent is a complaining, whining, constantly bickering, has no solutions ass man. That's what the women hate. And it repulses them. And I understand that. And I try to save these guys from themselves, but they just want to complain for content. So it is what it is.
Listen, LT, I've been on panels where people, the same dudes that can't stand fat ass women, I'm talking about literally have a conversation about fat women for over 2 hours. I say, you motherfuckers is sick. Because ain't no way in hell I would be sitting here talking about some shit I ain't attracted to for 2 hours. That's like me talking about an ugly ass nigga or a nigga with a short dick for 2 hours. For what? Why?
Just wasting.
Like, why? Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I rub people the wrong way because my thing is, it doesn't bother me, right? Don't get me wrong. Socially, of course, people feel away when they don't feel accepted socially, generally speaking, right? I get that aspect, right? But ain't no way in hell I'm going to sit here and cry in the car because a motherfucker don't like me because I'm fat. And then you have, this is the thing that's weird. And then you'll have some people going back and forth with these people. And I'm like, ain't no way in hell I'm finna sit here arguing with you about something you don't like. If you don't like me, move the fuck around. Like, it's really simple. And that's the thing that I feel like a lot of people get caught up with, right? Because as humans, we want acceptance. And I do too in different aspects, right? And then we find ourselves beating the wall, just like these men who complain about these women that treat them like shit. It's like, we have to be able to reflect on how did we contribute to the situation? You got some of these same men that want to cry in the motherfucking car, but they was passive as fuck and allowed shit to happen just because she was cute as fuck. And you already know. A lot of dudes, if a girl is fine, super attractive, whatever, they will let a lot of shit slide. I don't feel sorry for them niggas. Get what the fuck you get.
That's facts.
It's a cost you got to pay, and that's the motherfucking cost. And now you want to get on the internet and motherfucking cry. I don't want to hear it.
This goes right into my talking point when I was talking about reading the red flags in a woman, but continuing on and investing in her, marrying her, having kids with her, and then crying to the internet when it goes left. It's like you've seen the red flags. And then women will get on these airways and try to talk a man out of his standards to not see the red flags. And they make the mistake by feeding into that and listening to women instead of standing on their principles and their standards. So I try to save people from themselves. It doesn't really work, but I don't really give much of an effort. I'm not really trying to convince folks. I put the information out there. If they take it, they take it. If they want to leave it, they leave it. I don't really care that much. But yeah, this has been a good conversation. I don't know what to call you because your name is Are You Amused, but I don't want to say that shit every time.
People that know me as just Jay. You can call me Jay.
Jay. Okay. Thank you, Jay. I'm going to wrap up this episode, but I really appreciate your call. This was a very good conversation.
I appreciate your time, and thank you for having me. I'll be back, and I'll be in the clouds sometimes. Either way, when I'm online, I support good people, so I appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, folks, we wrapping up the show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to all the super chats. Did I miss anything? I don't think I missed anything. I think I got everything. Yeah, that was a good conversation. I like those nice, good conversations where we actually get some substance out of these conversations. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I don't think I missed any super chats, but shout out to everybody that hit the super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to everybody that hit that PayPal. The PayPal goes a lot farther because YouTube is not in on it. That is right in the pocket.
Was zero down, no credit. Yeah.
Shout out to y'all. We out. Yeah.